Good evening, good morning, YouTube. It's your favorite Warlock Jay here, and I am here. Sorry, just adjusting the camera a little bit. I am here for the long-awaited video of my thoughts on the hobby 10 years into it. I just want to give a really quick synopsis on my history of role-playing games. I first started playing in my first year of high school. This is about 2010, I believe. And, wait, no, that can't be right. I'm a little fuzzy on my dates. I'm getting old, but Juan, you're 24 years old. I know, I'm getting old. I noticed that, so I first started with Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, and I noticed that, I was literally the only role-playing game aficionado in my school. I went to school in the South Bronx, and there's not a really strong tabletop gaming community here. You'd find that in probably Manhattan and Brooklyn. But I started out playing in high school with 4th edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and then a high school teacher of mine, and Mr. Flanagan, if you're watching this, hi, how's it going? Got me into Pathfinder, which was basically what we call in the community 3.75 version of Dungeons and Dragons, because it was supposed to be it took 3.5 edition, made some little changes to make it a little bit more playable, and I was introduced to that, and I thought this was the coolest thing ever. I don't have the coronavirus, I swear. Anywho, I also he also gave me as a graduation gift a 3.5 edition copy of Dungeons and Dragons of 3.75 Pathfinder. I have the first edition copy in my drawer somewhere in this house. I've cherished it, and it's probably one of my favorite graduation gifts I've ever gotten. I wouldn't be able to find a play group until my first year of college. And we started playing Pathfinder, and my group loved it. And we would meet on and off because school schedules, finals, things at home. I'd finally find a consistent play group, and then 5th edition came out. And then with the advent of Stranger Things coming out on Netflix, things were just role-playing games are booming all of a sudden. Especially, and I think a lot of it is, like I said, the advent of Stranger Things on Netflix, Critical Role with Matt Mercer, and the release of 5th edition. I feel like Dungeons & Dragons became much more popular. And it was around this time also that I started getting into other games. Shadowrun, which is one of my personal favorite settings, if anything else. Kuro, which I should do a review one of these days because people are just oh, you mean the out of print game? Or what is Kuro? And again, if you haven't played Kuro, it was published by Cubicle 7. It's apparently out of print now. But I'm just going off on a tangent here. But I feel like right now, college has been a really great place for me to, expand the hobby. We'll be playing the lunchroom and people ask, oh, what are you doing? And then we'll just explain, we're just playing a game. And so far we've had so much positive interaction. There's a negative one, and I do want to talk about that late. And I'll make another video about it later. But this is just. I feel like right now we're in the middle of an RPG renaissance because it's suddenly gotten huge now. I've seen games pop up. We have a Witcher role playing game. We have Tales from the Loop, which is being turned into a Hulu series, I believe. And I feel like fantasy culture has gone up, has seen an uptick recently because of all this new media that's being exposed to it, that's exposing it. And I'm happy for it, I love to see more people into this hobby. And, like, it's just... I wish that this was around in high school so I could have more years of doing this. But, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. But, yeah, I cannot wait to see what the next 10 years will bring for this hobby. I don't see it being overshadowed by video games anytime soon. As of the time of this recording, Cyberpunk 2020 is going to be released soon. And Cyberpunk has been always been my favorite RPG franchises. Frankly, when I saw Keanu Reeves, I kind of lost my shit. But yeah, I really can't wait to see what the next 10 years will bring for this hobby. I would love to see it much more widespread in my neighborhood. Like I said, I live in the South Bronx. It's not really a haven for role playing games, if anything. But yeah, I just cannot wait, man. Like, I can't wait to see what games will be released in the next 10 years. I can't wait to see what systems will be released in 10 years. Maybe we'll get a playable version of Shadowrun. I don't know. But ultimately, like, I love this hobby, man. It's possibly one of my favorite hobbies I've ever found upon. It's turned me into the person I am today. It's helped out my writing career tremendously. And ultimately, like, this is what makes me happy. Like, this hobby is just what keeps me going. Sometimes. And I'm glad that I get to share with you my audience. Thank you all, guys. Good day and good gaming. Liam, you alright, buddy? Sorry, my dog's barking. Have a good day and good gaming, everybody. It's your favorite Warlock J, signing out.